Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the first half of my show, Real Steel Sports. You're listening live on, if you're listening to South Campus Radio, this is James Krasnerick on WSCR Radio with Real Steel Sports. If you're listening just individually on Spreaker, this is James Krasnerick with another riveting round of Real Steel Sports, part 2 of my show. As I mentioned earlier, my first show, I'm broadcasting on both accounts at once, more or less to kill two birds with one stone. And because, I couldn't do my count. I couldn't do my show today at school due to a minor technicality. But for those of you that listen to my normal account at home, I'll be talking about a whole bunch of topics at once. And those of you who listen to my account at school, I will not be playing any music. Other than that, it stays the same. Let's go. I mentioned in my last show I talked a little about the Steelers, but I don't think it's really hit the Steeler Nation that they're 2-5. And my reasoning is this. I myself, along with so many other fans of this team, still believe they can get into the playoffs. I do. Because let's look at the AFC landscape. The winner of the AFC South obviously is going to get in. That's no question. The winner of the AFC East gets in. Patriots, as I just mentioned, in the East. Colts in the South. In the West, you've got Denver and Kansas City. They're probably going to get in. That's 4. You've got probably the Bengals in the AFC North. That's 5. The Steelers are competing with the Ravens, with the Titans, and with the Chargers and Raiders pretty much for the 6th spot. And they've lost to a couple of those teams this year. So that hurts their head-to-head, hurts them in the head-to-head record scenario. Should that be what it comes down to. But why are the Steelers 2-5 this year? And there's a list of reasons. There's a myriad of different suspects. But I've narrowed my list down to 6 criteria. And there's 6 good reasons as to why the Steelers are underperforming this year and why they've been underperforming the last 2.5 years. For one, the Steelers are a team that prides themselves in finding players in the draft, more or less mentoring, developing them, and then cutting them loose to the point of now you play for this, now you see what you can do. That's how the Steelers do. And when you get picks like the Cowher era was getting, then it works. Troy Polamalu, Ben Roethlisberger. Who else did they get? Who was also part of the Cowher era? Ike Taylor was a great player. Alan Faneca. Or if you acquire players in the draft like Jerome Bettis. But if you just keep bringing them in, like if you get free agents like Willie Parker. Who else? Joey Porter was a player they drafted. Aaron Smith, Casey Hampton, Chris Hoke, Brett Kiesel. Now look at it. And even Kimo von Oelhoffen was a good player for us for a while. But when you don't... The last really good free agent the Pittsburgh Steelers signed was Mewelde Moore. That was the last one. And that was prior to the 2008 season. So it's really been 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 good years since they signed a decent free agent. So when you do that, you need your players that you pick to start panning out. But if you look at the Steelers' draft history as of late... And it's easier for me to bring it up than to print out a list. Let's look at the 2008 draft. Ironically enough, that started, and that was the year that they won the Super Bowl. The 2008 draftees. That is a completely and totally lost class. Rashard Mendenhall, Lima Swede were busts. Dennis Dixon was okay at best because he could fit in he could do some spot duty. And Ryan Mundy. That was it. Then the next year, 2009, we get Ziggy Hood in the first round, who's been very inconsistent. Craig Erpic, I don't know what he's doing now. Mike Wallace is getting big money from Miami. Keenan Lewis, big money from New Orleans. Hold on a sec. David Johnson, the tight end's been a decent player. He's been able to make some big play catches for us. So I guess that was the one good pick, and it was the last pick in that draft. 2010, Marquise Pouncey was a great pick in the first round. Jason World's been a good player, as Emmanuel Sanders has been a pretty good player. Jonathan Dwyer was great. Antonio Brown's been phenomenal. So, those are some okay players, but you need more than that. Then let's look at the next year, the 2011 draft. Cam Hayward's not seen much action. Marcus Gilbert's been terrible. Curtis Brown's been terrible. Cortez Allen's been great. The rest of the draft's been completely lost. Then you look at last year's draft. David DeCastro, great player. But other than that, have we really gotten anybody good? Kelvin Beachum was a very, very good pick late in the draft because he's been able to fill in when we've needed him. But the thing that I'd like to state that's been pissing me off is that, yes, I can say pissing, by the way, is that in 2010, I believe, when the Steelers took Jason Worlds, we had a chance to take Sean Lee. He was the Cowboys linebacker. He was the guy the Cowboys drafted. Where did he go to school? Penn State. How far is Penn State from the Pittsburgh Steelers? A couple stone throws away. That's it. Draft him. You shore up the inside of that defense with Timmons. So let's put it this way. The 2010 Super Bowl defense for the Steelers, if I'm correct about this, would have had the 2010 defense, instead of having the slow-ass James Ferrier in there, it would have been like this. Sean Lee, Lawrence Timmons, Lamar Woodley, and James Harrison as our linebacking core. 2011, so let's just say Harrison and Woodley are a little healthier. That linebacking core would have been the best in the NFL. Because Sean Lee the last year has been an all-pro. He's been a beast. And we had a chance to get him. Of course we didn't. It's the Steelers what the Steelers do, I guess. So, it's one thing to get players in free agency. It's another thing to develop them. And that's the problem with this Steelers team. The guys they've been drafting have not been working out. My opinion, maybe you got to go small school guys with more hunger, more heart. Instead of these big school guys who just want the paycheck every Monday. The next problem is Art Reed II being the president of the team. He has instructed Todd Haley to run the football. I'm serious. Look it up. Steelers president Art Rooney II. This is maybe from January 15th, 2010, but it's the point. We need to run the ball. He was unhappy that the Steelers in 2009 posted team records for passing yards. What's the big deal? Honestly, we need to run the football? Okay, that's how you won in your grandpa's days. That's not how you win now. You know what you do now to win? Look at the teams that win now. Even Kansas City throws a football. Let's see what else. Denver, New Orleans, Seattle even got some big-name free agents at wide receiver in order to come in. Percy Harvin and Sidney Rice, so they could throw the football. What else? I'm thinking. The teams on top of their divisions. Dallas and Green Bay throw the football a lot. New England's noted for throwing the football a lot. And Indy throws the football almost exclusively. And look at the teams that run the ball and just don't do anything else. Like the Vikings, who have one win. The Redskins are a losing team too. The Raiders are under 500. My point is this. Steeler football is not running the ball and playing defense and not doing a damn thing else. If not for Terry Bradshaw, we don't have any of our 4 Super Bowl rings. And people who dislike Bradshaw can deny it all they want. I can prove it that. But that's a different story, different time. Steeler football is winning games regardless of what it takes. The Steelers that go out there and throw 40 times to win, do it. Run 40 times, do it. You do whatever it takes to win. Chuck Noll used to say that. And speaking of Chuck Noll, the current Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, Mike Tomlin, along with Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator, are not so much getting outcoached. They're taking steps backwards. After the 2010 season, when Tomlin took a team in so much turmoil to the Super Bowl, and preseason doubt, to within a touchdown, to the winning drive of a Super Bowl, I had already christened him the second best coach next to Chuck Noll in Steeler history, above Bill Cowher, because the guy friggin' did in 4 years. It took Cowher 13 or 14 or how many years it did to get a Super Bowl and to win another. But since then, Tomlin doesn't want a playoff game, and he's regressed backwards just sadly. And hey, Todd Haley, throw it on first down, incomplete. Second down, run the football. Okay, 3rd and 8. Now what do you do? Makes no sense. Dick LeBeau, I think, needs to step down as my next one. Great career, seriously, but your schemes aren't working. They're ancient. Even the zone blitz is ancient. Whoever's next in line, step up. The 5th one, if you're going to have a $102 million quarterback, don't you think the first thing I got to do is protect him? Seriously, look how many years in a row Ben got sacked at least 40 times. Or that at least 7% of the time he dropped back, he was going to get sacked. So let's put it this way. Ben drops back 500 times a year to throw the football. He gets sacked 35 times. And finally, poor cap management. When your salary cap is toe top heavy and you got guys up and coming that want raises and you can't afford them and you let them go, you lose. Simple as that. Alrighty now. Away from football. Got some NBA games right now going on. Some current games in progress. Memphis is at the end of one overtime is up 111 to 108 on Detroit. Brooklyn leads Miami 99-95. Denver trails Portland 98 to 80. Utah leads Phoenix 44-39. The Clippers lead the Kings 48-42. San Antonio's trailing the Lakers 17-13. And some finals from today. Charlotte 90, Cleveland 84. Orlando 110, New Orleans 90. Washington 102, Philly 109. Atlanta 102, Toronto 95. Milwaukee 105, Boston 98. Dallas 105, Houston 113. And in somewhat of an upset, Minnesota 100, Oklahoma City 81. For NHL, my Pittsburgh Penguins 4-2 beat the Columbus Blue Jackets. Other finals, Tampa Bay 3, Carolina Zip. Islanders 5, Senators 4. St. Louis 4, Florida 0. Minnesota 4, Montreal 3. Washington blanks the Cap 7 zip. Detroit and Calgary, along with Dallas and Colorado, are both in the third period, and they're both tied 2-2. Other news, the ATP World Tour Finals was also set. The field has been set for this year's ATP World Tour Finals, and the field is this. Top seed Rafael Nadal, the number 1 player in the world. Number 2 seed defending champion Novak Djokovic. And then the rest of the way down. Andy Murray, of course, being 3rd seed, has to withdraw due to back surgery. But here as it goes from 4 to 9, or should I say 3 to 8 with Murray's withdrawal. David Ferrer, Juan Martín del Potro, Thomas Berdych, Roger Federer, Stanislas Wawrinka, and Richard Gasquet. Also, the tournament that's helped decide many of these, the Paris Masters, which is going on now, the semifinals are set for tomorrow. The quarterfinals from today, top seed Rafael Nadal took on 9th seed Richard Gasquet and beat him 6-4, 6-1. Djokovic took out Wawrinka 6-1, 6-4. Roger Federer defeated Del Potro 6-3, 4-6, 6-3. And David Ferrer took out Thomas Berdych 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. Ironically enough, I'm pretty sure that is the finals field for this year. So those guys getting a chance to play each other already. How about that? And as a result, the first semifinal